guys, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I want to show you a meal that I love making for us, and that is going to be angel hair pasta with chicken meatballs and pesto. It's really good, and it's a nice lighter pasta meal. So to get started with, you want to go ahead and get your noodles started. By the time I was done making my pesto and everything, those are done. I just left them in the water, and you will see why shortly. Meanwhile, I have some oil over here. Actually, I'm going to turn that off for now. So, for making the chicken meatballs, I forgot something, as it always. I needed an egg! Okay, so the chicken, it's very low fat, it's a very lean meat, and so it doesn't really like to bind together good because it doesn't have fat. Now you could use breadcrumbs or an egg. You could use breadcrumbs and an egg. Today we're just going to use one large egg to bind it together. So we will get that in our bowl. This is 2 pounds of ground chicken. You can do just one as well. We're gonna do a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese in there. And some lemon pepper seasoning. Goes really nicely with the chicken. More pepper because I'm me. Some salt. And a little bit of, well, that was more than a little bit, some garlic powder as well. And then we're just going to mash everything together and then make little meatballs. And my oil over here that I just turned off, that is what I'm going to cook these in. So normally I like to bake my meatballs because I can just throw them in the oven and forget about them. But for these, I do them on top of the stove, and it's not exactly a one-pan meal, but it sort of kind of ends up that way because we'll end up using the same pan that we cook these in to also bring the meal together. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on forming up some meatballs, and then I will have you guys come back when we're ready for our next step. Welcome back, guys. So my chicken meatballs are almost done here, just so you can see them. Now, what I was talking about them not liking to form together, they did kind of, some of them split apart from the ball form. Now, if you use the breadcrumbs, it would help to bind that together more. Also, something else that you can do is just let them sit in the oil in the pan for a little while before you move them and agitate them, because that'll give them time to cook a little bit and be a little bit tougher from that. The reason I didn't do that was just because I had so many of them and I was just trying to get done quick. So there are things I could have done to made them a little bit more ball formed, but I also don't really care because they're still gonna taste good either way. So as I mentioned, I already made up my angel hair pasta. I did actually leave that in the water, but it's still got some liquidiness to it. You can see a little bit coming off, but most of it kind of absorbed. Now granted, I didn't have it in a huge pot of water. I had it in not very much more than it needed to cook. But actually I want that wateriness that's still in there, and so I left it in the water, A, so that it wouldn't stick while I was working on my meatballs, and B, so that I will have some of that pasta water, which is going to be nice and starchy, to thin out my pesto. Now this is our pesto tonight. I made it fresh tonight with some basil from my garden, which I'm very proud of. I do have a video showing how I make my pesto, so I will link that in the description box for you. I absolutely recommend making your own pesto if at all possible because it is so good. But if you don't have that option, you can definitely use something from the store. So now my chicken meatballs should be done, and because we're dealing with chicken, because we're dealing with poultry, we want to make sure that they're done. So go ahead and go in with a meat thermometer and make sure that it temps at the right temperature, which for poultry is going to be 165. So we're slowly growing here. All right, so we're good. And I've temped a couple of them, so we should be good. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep the fire on medium. I'm going to go ahead and put in my whole bowl of pesto here. So this is 1 recipe's worth of pesto. And we're gonna mix that in with the meatballs. And there's a little bit of oil in my pan still, which is perfectly fine because there's oil in pesto, so it's fine. And that already looks pretty good. And then what we're gonna do is come in here with some of our pasta noodles. Actually, I think I'm just gonna dump. Make life a little easier on me. All right. Now it's not gonna be easy because I've got to mix it. I probably should use these. So here is our finished product. Chicken meatballs are in there, I promise. And then to top it off, just a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. And there you go. That's gonna be really, really delicious, really fresh and nice and bright. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, please leave me a like or a comment. Bye-bye.